Pain isn't your enemy, it's your co-creator. Every burn, every failure, every sleepless night is chiseling a version of you that ordinary comfort could never build. You're chasing comfort while legends are built in chaos. Winners aren't born in peace, they're carved in sleepless nights, silent struggles, and brutal self-discipline. Embrace the pain because that's life testing if you're serious. Comfort is a lie, pain is the passport. Winners collect scars, not excuses.
Nothing great is going to come without you having to deal with what I call adversity and pain tolerance.
Real self-worth comes from doing hard things.
You must be able to deal with that. And the more understanding you have of what's causing you the pain and how you've dealt with it is going to determine how successful you will be in whatever you choose in life.
You feel it, don't you? That burn, that gnawing fire you keep trying to silence. It's there when you wake up tired. It's there when you lay down frustrated. You're angry. You're exhausted. You're asking, why is this so damn hard? But deep down, you know why. You're being tested. Life's throwing haymakers at your jaw, daring you to quit. But look around. You're still standing, still breathing. That's proof you haven't been broken yet. I know you feel stuck. I know it hurts. But that pain you're feeling, that's not punishment. It's an invitation. It's life sneering at you and asking, how bad do you really want this? So stop fearing the burn. Stop begging for easy days. Stop treating your limits like they're carved in stone. They're not laws. They're targets. Now, go hunt them. Seek out the pain. Own it. Let it carve you into a savage the world won't recognize. Because on the other side of suffering, power, control, unbreakable will. You either embrace the pain or stay weak forever. The choice is yours, but time's not waiting.
That your mind is designed to help you get what you want. You just have to be willing to believe it's possible.
The reality is that most people never do what they really want to do in life because they are afraid of what other people are going to say. You take what they say and you use it.
Losing is not an option with me. Not being successful is not an option. When you make not being successful, it's not an option for you. That's when your life is going to change.
Pain is life's filter. It separates the committed from the casual. Most people tap out when it hurts. They hit a wall and they quit. But the ones who embrace the pain, they level up. They use it. They grow through it. I don't care how much it burns. This isn't about physical pain alone. Yes, it can be the fire in your lungs during a sprint, the fire in your muscles during the last rep, the ache in your body after a brutal workout. But deeper, it's about emotional, mental, and psychological pain. The burn of failure, the sting of rejection, the exhaustion of grinding with no results, the loneliness of being the only one who shows up. And this part says, I refuse to let pain dictate my actions. I won't negotiate with it. I won't run from it. I won't let it decide what I'm capable of.
Where you are now is just a reflection of your past thoughts, your past thinking. So if you want to change your future, you got to change your thoughts now.
The world doesn't care about your grief. It doesn't pause. It doesn't wait. But if you fight through it, you can build a life that makes every second of suffering worth it. Here's the trap. You stop being you and start being the one who lost. I'm the one whose mom died. I'm the guy whose dream failed. I'm the person who'll never get over it. You wear your sorrow like armor, the read with it in every conversation. You excuse inaction with it. I can't move forward. I'm still grieving. How can I be happy when they're gone? And without even realizing it, you let the loss replace your life. You stop trying, stop growing, stop showing up, because you've convinced yourself that honoring the pain means living trapped inside it forever. But here's the brutal truth. The best way to honor the loss is to refuse to let it destroy you. Grief is real, but surrender is a choice.
See, adversity is like the gym for your soul. It hurts, it's heavy, but it builds you up. Every time you wanted to quit, every time life tried to break you, you chose to stand tall. That's what makes you great. It's about the grind, the sleepless nights, the sacrifices, the prayers you whispered when nobody was watching. It's all about those moments when you could have folded, but you didn't. You see, the underdog story is the realest story there is.
You're not tired. You're just weak. That voice in your head saying, skip it today, that's not fatigue. That's failure talking. Nobody cares how tired you are. Nobody cares how sore you feel. You either show up and get it done, or stay soft forever. You want results? Then stop negotiating with your feelings. Muscles don't grow from wishes. Strength isn't built from excuses. Every rep, every drop of sweat, every ounce of pain. That's the tax you pay to level up. Most people tap out when it hurts. That's why most people stay average. You're not here to be most people. You're here to dominate. When your body screams, stop, that's your green light to push harder, because that's where the real gains are. You don't need motivation. You need discipline. You need to become the savage who doesn't miss workouts, who doesn't need hype, who shows up whether it's raining, hurting, or boring. Remember this, comfort is a lie. Pain is progress. So stop whining, grab the weights, and earn it.
That happens naturally when you go through something difficult. The point is, we've all done hard things, and self-worth and self-value comes from recognizing the hardship you've been through and the growth that you made during that time.
You're not tired, you're just weak. This isn't about physical exhaustion. It's a brutal wake-up call. Most people use "I'm tired" as a universal excuse for skipping the gym. Everyone is tired. The guy building his empire at 5 a.m., tired. The athlete pushing through injury, tired. The single parent working 2 jobs, extremely tired. So tiredness isn't special. It's not unique to you, and it's not a valid reason to quit. When you say "I'm tired," what you're really saying is, "I don't care enough to push through." That's not fatigue. That's weakness of will. And weakness, unlike tiredness, can be fixed. His is the core truth. Every time you choose comfort over effort, you're not just skipping a workout. You're killing the version of you that could have been stronger, sharper, unstoppable. That future self, the one with the body you want, the success you crave, the confidence you envy. He dies every time you hit snooze, and no one buries him. You do, quietly, daily, with excuses.
Champions aren't found on the podium with their hand up. No, champions are found in lab studies, the thousands of hours of hard work when no one's watching. That's what makes the will unstoppable. When you're in here and no one else is, and you're pushing yourself harder than anybody with no one around. That right there, guys, is a spark that catches flames. Burns every fear down, guys. Some fear people use and it enables them, fear does. You know, it's a block to them. They're scared from it, they run from it. Fear, shuts them down. For others, fear's a motivation. I feel fear now, and I tackle it so I never have to feel it again.
Here's the thing, once something's important to you, it never leaves your mind. If you always dreamt about being a singer-songwriter and you never did it, you will be haunted by that at the age of 70, because it's still right here, stored in the back of your mind. It's something that's meant for you, that's trying to call to you. You see, your dreams, you either pursue them or they fucking haunt you.
Stay hard mode is for the savage few who turn pain into power, fight their demons in silence, and rise through ruthless self-discipline when the world expects them to fold.
This is the darkest era in human history. You are surrounded by dopamine distractions and weakness disguised as pleasure. They hand out likes and claps for doing nothing. You're being trained to stay soft, stay small, stay obedient. But you didn't come here to be average. You came to dominate. This world, it doesn't care how you feel. It respects results, and results are born in pain. You don't get strong from comfort. You get complacent. You don't rise by chance. You rise through war. You either become a weapon or get broken by life. There's no middle ground. You think the universe owes you something. It doesn't owe you peace. It gives you pressure. And you either crack or you become forged. Greatness isn't given. It's bled for. It's earned in the hours no one sees. When you're tired, alone, broken, but you still grind. That's the difference. That's what separates the lions from the lambs.
If I was around you for 24 hours, what would your actions say? Would it really say you're serious about growing what you're growing? Or would it say you're just interested in it? Success doesn't always depend on world-class talent. It's a small piece of it. You can learn how to be talented, I promise you. But it does depend on world-class consistency.
You need to recognize that driven people always feel behind. They're always going to have doubt. They're always going to have chips on their shoulder. That's what makes us fucking great at what we do. It's not the affirmations. It's the fucking dark shit. It's the people that told us we were losers. It's the people that told us we were pieces of shit. And anybody who tells you different, they haven't achieved anything. Look at what they've achieved. It's probably a bunch of smoke and mirrors. Real motherfuckers remember all the dark shit. They take the dark shit and they put it into productive action to build the life that they want.
This era isn't your excuse, it's your weapon. While weak men cry about how hard everything is, you should be salivating. This chaos, this uncertainty, this pressure dash cookers of a world, it's the perfect fucking environment to create a god. While they scroll, you suffer. While they seek comfort, you build calluses on your mind, on your soul. This world is soft. It hands out applause for mediocrity. It numbs people with likes, dopamine, and easy pleasure. You don't rise by accident. You rise through war. War with yourself. War with your thoughts. War with every weak habit trying to drag you back to average. God, stay locked in. Stay savage. Use every ounce of darkness as fuel. Turn your loneliness into focus. Turn your rejection into rage. Turn your pain into power. You are the anomaly. You are the machine they can't comprehend. So don't explain. Execute. Don't post. Produce. Don't whine. Win. This era was made for the ruthless, for the disciplined, for the dangerous. So don't you dare slow down. Don't soften. Don't seek comfort. Stay hard. Stay wild. Stay unbreakable.
Try, bro. Try. Why don't you try? Go harder, bro. Work. Work. There's not even no pressure on a dream. It's a dream. There's pressure to feed your kids. There's pressure to pay rent.
Mediocrity is a slow death. Distraction is the devil's playground. And weakness is a betrayal of everything you could become. The world will tempt you to rest, to scroll, to numb yourself. But every second wasted is another step toward regret. And regret is a coffin you build with your own weakness. Wake up. No more pity. No more whining. No more soft talk. This is a call to arms. Kill distraction. Choke excuses. Move with rage and precision. Embrace the darkness, because in the dark, the real you is waiting. The version of you that doesn't compromise. Anyone takes what's. The question is, will you let your version out, or will you die soft, lie high? The choice is yours.
This world doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care how tired you are, how hard your day was, or how unfair life has been. The world only respects one thing: strength. Who are you when no one's watching? Who are you when it's dark, cold, and no one's clapping? That's the real test. Because greatness isn't found in comfort. It's forged in chaos, in pain, in isolation. You don't rise by accident. You rise through war. You want greatness? Who are you? Stop being soft. No one's coming. You either become a weapon or get broken by life. Greatness isn't given. It's bled for. Comfort is your enemy. Pain is your ally. Suffer with purpose. Turn dark energy into fuel. This isn't a game. This is war. Forge your own greatness. Stay hard.
The greatest things in the world were built by tired people. All right, I know you're tired. I know it's hard. I know you're exhausted. The fucking wonders of the world, guess who they were built by? Exhausted people. The buildings that you admire, guess who they were designed by and built by? People that were tired. Everything great in the world was built by tired motherfuckers. So it doesn't matter if you're tired. You just have to keep going.
Stop waiting for someone to hand you permission. You don't need luck. You don't need a sign. You just need to get up and do it. Because nothing changes if you keep sitting still, hoping things will magically improve. Real change comes when you stop talking about it and start doing it. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, you might fail. Yeah, people might not understand why you're trying. But here's the thing. You can do it anyway. You can stumble, you can fall short, you can feel lost halfway through. But as long as you keep moving, you're still in the game. People talk about talent like it's everything, but talent without effort is nothing. It's the work that turns potential into power. It's the grind that turns dreams into proof.
I'd rather go too far than not far enough. The only reward that you get from taking it easy is the fact that in the moment it's easier. But if you want results and then you basically just catch yourself slacking off and don't do anything about it, then it kind of sounds like you don't really want those results, you know?
If I wanted to, I would beat every one of these guys. Only a coward says that.
This is the age of weakness, where distractions are rewarded, where comfort is worshipped, where men and women trade their power for likes, for validation, for temporary highs. You were born for war, not against others, against yourself, against your laziness, against your excuses, against the pathetic, comfort-addicted weakling staring back at you in the mirror. But here's the truth you've been running from. Your darkness isn't your enemy, it's your fuel. Pathetic.
Don't ever use that line. It's not a strong line. Either do or don't. Don't tell us if you wanted to. Who cares if you wanted to? Go do it. Why don't you do it? Why don't you pursue it? What are you afraid of? What scares you? What do you not want to do? Go light it up. Go pursue it.
Remember all those dreams you had? They all just came crashing down. Newsflash, bro. Motivation doesn't exist. When in reality, all you needed to do was do it anyway. Regardless of how you feel, the job remains the same. So you can sit there waiting on these videos to pop up, hoping that one day your mindset will change. It'll never change, bro. You'll be stuck in the same place. But that falls on nobody except yourself. You either want it bad enough, or you're content with letting it slip away. You choose.
There's a moment that comes to every single person who's chasing something real. A moment when the weight gets heavy, when the road feels too long, when every step forward feels like a battle, and every breath takes everything you've got. And in that moment, the thought creeps in. Maybe I should just quit. Maybe it's easier to walk away than to keep pushing through the pain. But here's what I want you to remember. Wanting to give up doesn't mean you have to. You've made it this far, through every setback, every failure, every doubt whispered in your ear. You're still here. That alone means something. It means you have more strength inside you than you even realize. Pain is temporary. It is a feeling, not a permanent state of being. It is a visitor, not a resident. It is a storm, and like all storms, it will pass. Think about every difficult moment you've faced before. Every heartbreak, every disappointment, every challenge. Did it last forever? No. You got through it. You found a way. And you will get through this too.
Everyone's like, oh, later in life, I want to do this. Later in life, I want to do that. Later in life is turning around, looking in the mirror right now. That's the later in life. And unless that turnaround is something in progression, later in life ain't gonna be anything different. And if you're not doing the now, don't ever expect the later to be the person you want to look in the mirror. You're missing the story, man. Am I happy? What the f do you think? Happiest person in the world. But I'm not done.
It's never too late. Don't listen to these people who want to put you in a box. Don't listen to them. Be you.
What I look like giving up today, when tomorrow might be the day I win.
Legends get scared too. I'm scared right now. But the difference is we do it anyway. And all of you can do that every single day. It's legendary to be afraid and do it anyway. There is no such thing as failure when you try. That's the only way you lose. The way to win is to try.
No matter how hard it gets, and it's gonna get hard, you don't get to quit yet, because this story ain't written by the people who start strong. It's written by the ones who finish. And if you're still breathing, still moving, still fighting, then you're still in it. You think the people who make it never wanted to stop? No! They did 1,000 times, but they kept going anyway, because greatness doesn't tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, here's your win. You have to chase it, bleed for it, push through the pain, and keep walking forward when the pressure hits, when your body's tired, your mind's screaming at you to quit. That's not a sign to stop. That's a sign you're getting closer, because the breaking point is always right before the breakthrough. You become someone who is no longer afraid of the fall, because you know it only makes your rise more powerful. You become someone who thrives in adversity, who finds strength in the struggle. This means embracing the grind like never before. It means outworking every doubt, every critic, every competitor. It means turning every no into rocket fuel for your yes.
There is so much power in believing that everything will work out, even when you don't know how or when. You just believe that it will. That kind of belief is not naive. It's power in the purest form. Because once you truly believe it's already yours, you stop chasing. You stop negotiating with fear. Belief is the ultimate filter. It deletes the distractions. It silences the noise. It makes the how irrelevant and keeps you locked in on the why. Most people are anxious because they keep opening the door to thoughts that don't match the life they're building. But when your belief is sharp, everything else falls away. You move different. You speak with less doubt. You stop performing and start becoming. And that's when manifestation kicks in. Not when you write it down once, not when you talk about it, but when the belief is so strong it makes anything else feel laughable. You don't need the perfect plan. You just need conviction. The kind that can walk through the fog like it's already seen the view. Make the belief louder than the fear and let the magic meet you in motion.
Work harder. Train longer. Dig deeper. Let that pain turn into purpose. Let that failure fuel your fire. Let every setback be a setup for something bigger, stronger, crazier. This is the moment where you decide, I'm not just getting back up, I'm coming back like a monster. Not angry, not bitter, but focused, driven, relentless. People might have counted you out, might have said you were done, finished, over. But monsters don't stay down. Monsters rise. And you were built for this kind of war. Tough times have a way of making us believe that this is how it's always going to be. But that's the lie pain tells us, that the hurt is permanent. And it's not. Nothing is. Not even the deepest wounds. Not even the heaviest heartbreaks. You take every ounce of that pain, every sting of that defeat, and you convert it into fuel. Fuel for your late nights, your early mornings, your relentless pursuit. You don't just recover. You evolve. You don't just rebuild, you fortify. You don't just learn, you master. You get up, and you work harder than before.
Once you overcome the reflection in the mirror, you've done it. And that's why so many people are lost when I start talking. It wasn't until I changed that mentality that I became somebody. I'm training my mind and my body and my spirit so it's all one, so I can handle what life is going to throw at me. But if you can get through to doing things that you hate to do, on the other side is greatness. That's life, man.
Procrastination is a liar. It convinces you that the perfect time is coming, that the clarity will hit tomorrow, that the fear will fade on its own. But nothing changes if you don't. Hit send, make the call, post the content, walk in the room like you belong there. Clarity comes after action. Confidence comes after reps. Stop waiting, make a move, because that's how momentum is built.
Look at you, with that fire, that drive, that unwavering spirit. You've dared to dream big, to reach for a life that's extraordinary. But perhaps, right now, you're standing at a crossroads. Maybe you feel like you're starting from scratch. Perhaps the resources are scarce, the opportunities few. You might look around and think, I have nothing. No connections, no big breaks, no safety net. Nobody's watching. But you promised yourself you wouldn't quit. You made a commitment. Not to them, not to the world, but to you. To the dream you whispered late at night when nobody else was listening. So keep going. Not because someone told you to. Not because you feel like it, but because you said you would. And your word means something. This is where most people fall off. This is where they stop. When the motivation fades and only discipline remains. But you're not like most people. You never were. When you've got nothing else, confidence keeps you moving. Not arrogance, not loud talk. Real, deep down knowing that you are capable, that you were built for this fight, that you are more than your current situation. So don't wait until you have everything lined up perfect. Don't wait for someone to bless your grind. or give you permission. If you're breathing, you've got what it takes to begin. When life knocks you down, that is not the end. It is the beginning of your greatest transformation. Because the true measure of a champion isn't how many times they fall, but how many times they rise. And not just rise, but rise with a ferocity, a determination, a hunger that was absent before. When life knocks you down, you don't just get back up. You get up with a new resolve. You get up with a burning desire to prove something. You get up and you work harder than before.
Whenever you have this tendency to procrastinate, program your subconscious mind with this automatic conditioned command: do it now, do it now, do it now. The key to overcoming procrastination is to develop a sense of urgency. Be the kind of person who gets things done quickly. Be the kind of person who launches fast on a task.
Do not be entitled. Earn everything. Choose hard work over handouts, always. Consistent, intentional, hard work should be your default, always. Choose it over handouts. Be self-reliant, skilled, and strong in mind, body, and spirit. No one is coming to steal your problems. No one owes you. No one owns you. You save you.
People have a hard time understanding that you have to have faith in the actual process. When we break down the overall mission into critical tasks, it sometimes is hard for us to believe that those critical tasks are going to compound and produce the end result that we're after. And so in the beginning, we have to have a little bit of faith and make sure that we keep executing over and over and over again at a daily level. And as that happens, and as you do that enough, you will start to see little glimmers and little sparkles of the outcome that you desire. And what that does is that reinforces the belief that you are on the right track.
You know, I think the real reason you struggle to be consistent and stay disciplined is because subconsciously you think this is still the warm-up. You think this is the part before the game really begins, the part where it's okay to fuck about and waste time because the whistle hasn't blown yet. Well, guess what? The game began the moment you decided you want something better for yourself. The dream, the goal, whatever it is you go to bed thinking about. The game has started. Wake up.
When nobody is watching, that's when it matters the most. That's when the real you shows up. Not for applause, not for praise, but for the promise you made to yourself. You said you'd show up. You said you'd stay locked in. You said you'd give it everything. And now's the time to prove it. Not to them, but to you. Because discipline is what you do in the dark when there's no spotlight, no camera, no cheering crowd. That's where the foundation is built. That's where greatness is born. Anyone can grind when people are clapping, but the ones who win, they grind when it's silent. They train when it's lonely. They push when it's boring. They stay obsessed when no one's paying attention. You didn't come this far to break your own promise. You didn't suffer this long just to tap out because no one's watching. You are your own accountability, your own standard, your own reason to keep going. You don't need hype. You've got heart. So keep pushing when it's quiet. Keep showing up when it's hard. Keep working like everything depends on it, because it does. And when the lights finally come on, they'll see the results. But you'll know it was earned in the shadows. All because you kept your word to the only person who truly matters. You. You don't need an audience to stay committed. You just need a heart that remembers what it wants, even when everything else tries to forget. So take one more step, one more breath, one more try, even when nobody's watching, especially when nobody's watching, because that's where champions are made, in the unseen moments, in the struggle, in the silence, in the choice to keep going, just because you said you would. Keep your promise, stay the course, keep going, because the world may not see it now, but one day they will, and you'll know exactly why you never stopped, because when you believe in yourself, truly believe, you become unstoppable. You find solutions where others find roadblocks. You create opportunities out of thin air. This is your moment. This is your proving ground. This is where legends are made, forged not by what they were given, but by what they built from within. So take that self-confidence, channel that laser focus, and know that this is not a time for hesitation. This is a time for action.
Just do it anyway. Do it if you have a headache. Do it if you don't feel like it. Do it whenever everybody tells you you can't. Do it when you feel overwhelmed. Do it when you feel underwhelmed. Find in your heart what you want. At the end of your life, if you could be known for a few things, what are they? And then do whatever it takes to get there, because here's what I know. I've never met anybody who says, maybe next year, or that's too hard, or I don't feel good today, I'm a little tired, or it's not convenient. I've never met that person while simultaneously met the happy version of that person. The person who doesn't do it anyway, to me, I don't see full of bliss.
You're dealing with ghosts that don't exist. When you start to look in that mirror and you look really, really deep, you start to deal with the ghosts that actually do exist. The ones that you hid away, the ones that you didn't want to deal with. Most people take those ghosts and they try to push them in that closet. And when you start pushing them in that closet, you become farther and farther away from who you are. Those are some of your most powerful tools. And they're just sitting in the closet gathering dust. You have to bring all of you, because you never know what you're going to need in that particular situation.
When you have nothing, you've got one thing they can't measure: self-confidence. It's not about money, not about fame, not about who you know.